Good morning and welcome to the third day of our launch into our Squad Up campaign on our road to 300,000. Good morning. My name is Nia Weeks, founder and executive director of Citizen She and Citizen She United. And it has been kind of a whirlwind, incredible week. We have launched and we have put out there that we are organizing Black women across the state of Louisiana, trying to get 300,000 Black women to become frequent voters. And what has been so exciting, so encouraging, is the response from Black women from all walks of life, Black women from all demographics, all presentations, excited about being seen, about being heard, and being a part of this journey to restructure how Black folks and Black women experience life in the city, in our cities across Louisiana, in our state, and in our country. This has been, such a wonderful experience for me personally, because I get to work with some incredible Black women and girls from across the country. And in this space and in this time, I've been able to delve into space with all of them. On yesterday, we had my dear friend, colleague, and co-conspirator, Timberland Sams, come and talk to us about the work that Inspire NOLA is doing, and the social activism that charter network has taken upon themselves to ignite into their young people to get them on board. Today, we're going to talk about groups of Black women that are pushed to the outskirts, even more so than Black women as a whole. There is a marginalization that happens living in a Black body. There's a marginalization that happens living in a Black body that identifies in any way, shape, or form with any type of woman, feminine entity, and gender non-conforming, but still identify, especially gender non-conforming, because the discrimination in that space is very real. But there are Black women in our community that even we forget, that we leave behind, that we pass judgment on, that we don't include in conversation. And when they're not included in conversation, they're not included in thoughts around policy, they're not included in thoughts around activism. Their stories aren't told. And when their stories aren't told, when the specificity of discrimination that happens in their life isn't brought to the forefront, then they are forgotten. And we miss pieces when it comes to our work. And we can't miss pieces. We can't leave anybody behind. And so today we're going to very intentionally talk about these groups of Black women. And I'm talking about trans men and women. I'm talking about any member of LGBT community, queer community. I'm talking about formerly and currently incarcerated Black women. I'm talking about Black women that are homeless. I'm talking about our Afro-Latinas, right? That when we talk about, the melanin that runs through our veins and that comes out in our pores, we forget that there are Black folks that don't speak same language. We have immigrant population from all kinds of diasporas. We have Haitian population. We have people from the diaspora. We have Black folks from Europe that just, that are trying to figure out what this country is, what this space is that they have, embarked upon, being in this space and living here. And they're trying to figure out where their space is. They're trying to figure out where their people are. They're trying to figure out, well, if I'm being harmed in this specific way, where do I go? And who do I hold on to? Am I included in this conversation around Black folks and Black people? And so, as we embark on our road to 300,000, as we are all squatting up, I want us to remember that this is for everybody, that is all inclusive, that no one is going to be forgotten. I want to put up here once again, She Squads Up. Oh, I wrote that wrong. She Squads Up at motivote.us is where you go to form your squad and get your people together. And those squads can look any way you want. You know, I was talking to some Black women that have churches in Florida. One of my sorority sisters has, organizing churches in Florida. I'm like, yes, bring on the churches and bring on the churches in Florida. And the deacon board can go against the mothers of the church, can go against the choir, or can you get the most points and activate, their activism when it comes to voting. I want to show you all the platform one more time at Motivote. So here is my page. Here we go, She Squads Up. And I am at 125 points right now. Super, super excited. Explains all the things we're going to do. And let's see if I can earn some points right now as we speak. As I told y'all, I am trying to get that Michelle Obama book. And so I'm going to get election reminders. So I'm going to sign up. I'm going to put, well, you know what? I'm not going to do that one because I'm not going to put my phone number out there. You know what? We can do my birthday. There we go. So I'm going to tell Motivote what my birthday is. It is June 2nd, 1978. Y'all don't judge me because y'all think I'm old, but 42, and here we go. And I entered my birthday. I completed the action. I earned 10 points. And you know what? I'm going to go ahead and check my voter registration status. And that's one thing that we make sure it's important for people to do. So I can click right here, check my status, put my name, my birthday. I'm going to put my, well, I'm not going to put my right address in here, but it'll check my status right here. It's very easy. Earning points, I can earn 30 points for that. And so, it's very simple to use. Like I said, the prize store is really excited. Y'all know what I'm working towards. It's 500 points because I want this signed copy of Becoming by Michelle Obama. That's my thing. That's what I'm working towards. And so as I do these actions and I earn these points, I will be able to cash it in and get these prizes and win. And hopefully my squad will beat all the other squads that are out there. Before I bring on our guest today, I do want to bring up, Icon the poet graced us on Wednesday with her beautiful words. She's got more words for us today. And so I want to give you all that goodness, that love this morning. And then we will have an incredible guest, a good friend of mine, who I'm really excited to bring to you guys. So here we go with Icon.
Black woman steps up to Mike. Black woman has a poem. She has a poem gestating deep inside her belly. Can feel the painful pulse of contraction, her mouth fully dilated, but she's afraid. She's afraid to push the poem from her lips for fear that the crowd will call her baby ugly, say its cries are unworthy of being heard, or even worse, they will try to kill it. Because she has become accustomed to having her babies slaughtered. She has become accustomed to this same kind of death herself. Black woman feels like she should change her name from mother to martyr. Black woman is even afraid to call herself Black woman too many times in this here poem because she has been taught that she is too insignificant to be acknowledged. Black woman steps up to Mike, prays that she gets it right, realizes that in this world, her voice is usually the only light in a sea full of white. So she prays. She prays that telling her own story is stronger and more powerful than those who try to do it for her or to her. Because see, everybody wants a piece of Black woman. The Black woman can't even speak her own piece. Black woman tries to seek peace between the mic and the crowd in what feels like light years of space. And light travels faster than sound, so Black woman realizes that they will see her before they ever truly hear her. Black woman steps up to Mike, cognizant of how she appears, in front of a jury of an audience that probably don't see her as their peers, so she don't want to come off too woman, too Black. Black woman is taught that she don't hurt, that she don't feel a thing, that her melanin and estrogen cancel out the human in her DNA. Black woman is taught that her sorrow is a false alarm that goes off way too often, while white and male privilege gets to siren its struggles all over the world stage. Black woman steps up to Mike, feels the urge to push, but doesn't want to tear, doesn't want them to interpret weakness from her tears. She doesn't want to be called a crybaby. So she gently rocks her palm into the back of her throat and she whispers to it, shh, don't cry, baby. And I just want to tell her to yell. Well, like you want nothing more than to break the shell and have your baby be born. You shout out to them. But how you survived it all. I'm talking about the rape, the racism, the ravaging of your body for the sake of beauty. You tuck your chin into your chest and you push, girl. You push like you deserve to be heard. You push like you deserve to be here. You push like you have a savior to deliver to this world. Black woman steps up to Mike. Black woman speaks.
Oh, goodness. Every time I get the privilege of hearing her words, being in space with her, it's an honor and a privilege. I am grateful to both Icon and Frequency with giving us the ability to listen to their words, for us to connect with their words, for us to be seen in their words. And so thank you, Icon. Thank you, Frequency, for that wonderful contribution this week. So I promise you guys special treat. And I got special treat. So like I said, I work with some dope Black women, incredible women that do incredible work. But there are people that do work with our babies in a very, very intentional way, seeing them in their full humanity, seeing them fully who they are. There's an incredible organization here in New Orleans run by a dear friend of mine, Dominique Johnson, Daughters Beyond Incarceration. And as you can read here, it's a program that connects girls with their incarcerated parents, their incarcerated fathers. I had the privilege of being in many spaces where they've done presentations, where the girls themselves are talking, and this woman is giving these girls life again. And I'm grateful to her for that. And so I'm going to bring her up. Hello, Dominique.
Hey, Nia. Hey, everyone. How are you?
I'm wonderful. How are you this morning?
I'm okay. I'm over here at Nails by Zelly, taking care of my nails.
I love it. That self-care is so important.
Yeah, I try to support any Black businesses. She's located in Gentilly.
Gentilly? Okay, text me or stuff. I'm going to post it so that we can,
I'll definitely text your info.
Because, I like getting mine done too. So,
and listen, thank you. She specializes in natural nails too.
Really?
Yep.
That's incredible. Okay, so we are going to make sure that we send business her way. If you want to support Black women, you support Black women-owned businesses.
Yep.
Give them that money because they do incredible work. And having a Black woman massage your hands, I promise you, it's going to feel good.
Yes.
So, Dominique, I was talking a little bit about Daughters Beyond Incarceration, but I know my words can't do justice to who you guys are and why you guys exist. Can you give us a little bit of insight on what that is?
So we exist because children with incarcerated parents don't have a voice, and they're often forgotten in spaces including criminal justice reform, bail, policy recommendations, or anything that involves making a decision about their life. They're never involved. And so that's why we exist. I didn't have a mentor, or I didn't have a me growing up. I just struggled dealing with incarceration by myself. And when you struggle by yourself, people are telling you who your incarcerated parent is. They're a killer, they're a murderer, they're a rapist, and you grow up with these labels attached to you as if you are what your parent is, and they're blaming you for the mistakes that your parents made. In New Orleans, we grew up with this last name, and this last name has already built a tradition or a legacy, and we don't even know what it is. We're just being born into that family, and you just get labeled, oh, you're a Jones girl or you're a Brown girl, and you don't even know what that means, but And so that's how it is growing up with that labels attached to you as, oh, you're a child with an incarcerated parent, or your mama's in jail, or your daddy's in jail. And then you know what the next thing they say? You're going to end up just like your mama or your daddy. And so that's why we exist. We exist to break generational cycles that are put in place to hurt and harm our children. Daughters Beyond Incarceration is led by two Black women who are directly impacted by their parents' incarceration. My partner, her name is Bree Anderson. She is the daughter of exonerated Robert Jones was exonerated maybe about 3 or 4 years ago through Innocence Project New Orleans. And we got together just based on the strength of the relationship that Robert had with my father. Robert was incarcerated for 23 years, and that entire 23 years he was with my father. And so just imagine how I felt having to work in the same space as Robert. Like I was so vulnerable. There was no way that I could just allow somebody to be in the same space and know my daddy better than me.
Wow. That's a mouthful, Dominique. That's a mouthful.
Yeah.
I, when we talk about, policies that are in place that are harmful to our babies and harmful to our girls, especially our babies that are navigating in spaces that they have no control over. What are some of those policies that exist that people need to be aware of that we need to push back against or make happen?
So if your child is in any way, shape, or form struggling academically, athletically, socially, emotionally, there should be something in place that protects your child. And you, as a parent, you're responsible for finding out what that is because we can't always rely on the teachers or the school support staff to do it. You have to be actively involved as a parent. So when I realized that my biological son, Kingston, his father is paralyzed with it from the neck down. And so his father is not actively able to be in his life. The next best thing is his grandfather. Well, his grandfather, my dad, is incarcerated. So there was issues for us to make decisions about how visitation should go and how or when we can visit them. Because if you look at Kingston, Kingston is 13 years old, but he's already 5'9", 5'10", and he looks as if he should have a driver's license. And so there are visitation restrictions in place for somebody that's 15 or 16, but he's just 13. And so that's something that we had to combat against. You also had to combat against children who are growing up directly impacted by incarceration. They are being suspended, they're being expelled, and they're dropping out at a much higher rate than their peers. And nobody knows why. Nobody knows what's triggering them to lash out at the times when it happens, and no one's doing nothing about it. Which is why you see schools that have police officers there. So immediately when the child lashes out, the police officer grabs them, right?
Yeah.
But as a parent, you're supposed to be there to protect your child and to work with the school as a support staff to make sure that that doesn't happen because you have to communicate with them and say, you know what, my child just saw this girl being dropped off by her father and that triggered something in her. And so DBI is also here to help children heal from those triggers and to help you identify those triggers so that when they come up again, you know how to handle them.
Absolutely. One thing that I've been thinking about a lot, and you probably don't even realize I've been thinking about a lot. When COVID first hit, and I saw your video that you posted on Facebook, and you and I talked a little bit after that. Sorry. You and I talked a little bit after that about your concerns about your daddy. And, I was worried about my daddy, because he's older. He thinks he's invincible. He was golfing every day. And, and I was worried about him going to the grocery store. But I had ways to help control that. I knew, he could, he was bringing me groceries. He was, supporting, but he didn't have that.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember I asked you, what can be done? And you said, these girls need money to put on their parents' books so they can buy bleach. That they can buy supplies so they can even talk to their parents to make sure their parents were okay. while they were incarcerated. I understand if it's too much right now, but like I just want to highlight that every issue that we think about, that these babies that you all, your community that you activate with and you work with, it's exacerbated tenfold.
You know, we don't think about the ability to turn off our own lights as a privilege. We don't think about changing the toilet paper as a privilege. Getting up to grab a bottle of water out of your own refrigerator. We don't do that, and some of those things that we take for granted. I talked to my dad last night, and he sounded so excited. I said, what's wrong? He said, we finally got a little space in here. And it's because they removed 50 people that tested positive for COVID. 50. And he was just excited that he had his some space so he can finally social distance, right? And you know, I didn't want to take away from him being happy because of that. Because in my head, I'm thinking, I gotta think with reality, Dominique, there's no possible way for your dad to avoid this. There's no possible way for any person in prison to avoid COVID. There's no possible way. And so I go to sleep several nights thinking that is this going to be the night that I'm going to get a phone call saying that my daddy died in prison? Or is this going to be the night that I get a phone call saying that one of my girls' daddy died in prison? It is difficult to protect them when I'm preaching to them that when a person becomes arrested, they become a ward of the state. So the state is supposed to take care of them. But we don't trust our state. We don't trust the justice system. And there's no way that we could possibly believe that they're going to take care of our Black fathers and our Black mothers because they're not. And so as we carried on our conversation, I said, Daddy, what did you eat? What was your lunch like? And he said, well, baby, it's about 7 o'clock and I'm still waiting for lunch. I said, well, what time did you have breakfast? He said, I got up, I ran this morning at about 5 a.m. I had me a cup of coffee and I had me some toast bread. He said, but I haven't had breakfast. Breakfast came at about 1 o'clock. I said, well, what did you eat for breakfast? He said, 1 o'clock, I was eating grits, bacon, and a biscuit at 1 o'clock. And so I said, well, you should still have money in your commissary, right? He said, well, I've been selling some bleach to try to keep his little business going. He said, but it's time for a re-up. So I had to send my daddy some money so he can go to the store because at 7 o'clock my father was waiting for lunch. And there's so many organizations that's working to fight COVID and fight with the prisons, and you hear so many different things. But these people are still human and they're not being treated like humans. Like, for him to be excited to have space because 50 people are gone, like, I really just wanted to say, Daddy, that's not okay. Like, that's not okay, Daddy. And near, like, my father's 60 years old. I don't understand what is the point of keeping him in prison and also the same person that actually committed the crime in prison. Like, they know that they got the same two people for the same crime. And sometimes it makes it stressful because the transparency that I have with my girls, I have to be very selective with my words because they're all like all of us are emotional. All of us are emotional. And so making sure that when any one of them call me, that I'm in a good space and that I have the mental space to deal with whatever it is that they're about to call me for. You see, nobody thinks about that when they talks to you. Nobody is considering if they have the correct mental space to deal with other children because you have to make sure that you're centered when you're talking to these children. And it's not like they are adult enough to know to ask you, hey, are you in the correct mental space? Do you have some time to deal with me? And I wish everyone watching this would tune in to our town hall Monday, September 14th, because you'll hear the survey results about how our children are feeling battling the COVID-19, having an incarcerated parent, while trying to go back to school. You're going to be surprised by what these children are saying. It's like the results are going to make you cry because everybody has a town hall focusing on education and youth, but you don't have no youth present. You don't have any youth present. I don't understand that. And like somebody else just had a town hall and invited me to it. I think it was yesterday. And there are two people running for office on the town hall. And I said, well, why wouldn't you get anyone directly impacted? Well, we sent them emails and we asked them, and no one would work with us, but we do have letters. If you're planning a town hall, and I hope that everyone is listening, because I'm always known for telling people exactly how I feel. If you're planning a town hall, or you're planning to do anything with anybody directly impacted or children, you need to partner with a community organization that serves directly impacted youth or children or whoever it is you need because you need to let them speak for themselves. There's two different perspectives. There's a lawyer's perspective and there's a directly impacted person's perspective. And there's no comparison. An attorney can't speak for me. I can't speak for my 16-year-old mentees because I'm not 16 now.
If I'm honest, I don't even know what to say. Except that everything you say is right. I mean, I'm a lawyer and I hate speaking on behalf of my clients because it's my interpretation of what they've said, but not, I can't do it the same way. I got to translate to this language to make the judge understand or the jury understand. The reality is a human being that has thoughts, words, feelings, and we're asking them to be silent so that we can speak for them. And so when you have spaces where they're not required to be silent outside of court, you give breath and space for that to happen. When people say, they can't find anybody to work with, I'm like, bruh, do you know how many people out
There's so many people, right? There's so many people. There's so many people.
I called you, full transparency. I called Dominique last night. She texted me back at 4 this morning. Responding, yes, yeah, I will come on with you. And, I'm so grateful to your work. And you've even seen my children, in spaces. I'm a single parent and I'm navigating this space. And you're like, nah, I see your babies too.
Yep, I see them. Yep, I see them.
Let them come get some of this love.
Yep, and a lot of people don't think that that DBI may be a good fit because incarceration is a sensitive topic. It's a sensitive subject, and so I say that to say that We know that. And we can tell when a person isn't ready to deal with the trauma or the emotions behind incarceration. And so we don't immediately bring a person in and say, okay, let's talk about your daddy. And half the time we'll meet and we won't even bring up daddies because sometimes they just want to talk about themselves.
Yeah.
And so we know that the bulk of our work deals with the mental health of our children and how children feel like they are not heard. Oh, Miss Dominique, my teacher won't listen to me. Oh, Miss Bree, how can I help my better my relationship with my mama? Or I don't have a relationship at all with my mama. How can I help? What can I do? When we talk about our dads, we immediately have a social worker present. Dr. Danielle Wright is who we use. We refer everybody to Dr. Danielle Wright.
Good.
But for the most, yeah, that's my girl. But for the most part, the bulk of our work focuses on the mental health and well-being of our girls.
Yeah, I love it. I'm going to tell you that I am grateful to you and your work. I also want you to get that loving on your nails and have that Black woman love on your nails without having to
She
do all
is.
that. So I'm about to let you go. I'm going to do two
Okay.
things though. Y'all give these people some money.
Please,
Give these
please
people
and
some
thank
money.
you.
Can
Please
y'all
and thank you.
donate and make sure that Dominique can do the work that she needs to do? And you got 3 babies.
I got 4. I got 4.
3 little ones at home.
I got 2 little ones. I got 7-month-old twins. I have a 6-year-old daughter and a 13-year-old son.
Okay, the little 6-year-old. That's big. I love all
That's
you. That little bit. That little bit.
yeah.
I love that picture.
You know, listen, she tells everybody, do you know Miss Nia? I'm a model for Miss Nia. You know I take pictures with Miss Nia now.
Yes, she is a model with Miss Tia. Yes, she is. I love it. But y'all give Daughters Beyond Incarceration your dollars. We're in campaign season. I got it. Money is flying everywhere. Fly a little bit,
Please.
over here because
Every
the work,
little bit helps, y'all.
it does. And the real talk is that the work, yes, we want to get people elected. We want to get policy done. Like all that is good to spend money on. Appreciate it.
Yep.
But there is work being done year round for the people that we're trying to get good policy passed for. And this is one organization that is doing that hard work. And so give them y'all coins. I'm telling y'all, you know what? I'm going to give some coins today myself. Yeah, that's what's going to happen. So I'm giving coins, and I'm challenging everyone out there. Y'all give some coins. Give at least $25 today.
Thank you.
$25 DBI. Get these people some money so they can do the work that they got to do to these girls, because these girls are working, going in their own pockets, put money in their parents' books.
Yes.
Right.
And also when you donate to DBI, you're donating to a girl learning how to be an advocate. You're donating to a girl learning how to use her voice to speak up for herself and to not feel ashamed or embarrassed to say, "Oh, my parent is in prison." That's not something that she should be embarrassed about, or he. No child should be embarrassed to say that, and no child should be embarrassed to say what their last name is because of who their parent is.
That's right. That's right. So get your bias and your prejudice out your head and out your heart. That's the other challenge for today. Lastly, though, I want to make sure people go to this town hall. Dominique, how do they find the town hall? Is it going to be streamed?
You should definitely register. Those that register will get the Zoom link in their email. Those people that do not register will have to wait till we go live on Facebook, which is the same thing, but we want you to register first. So go to our Facebook page. It's at DBI NOLA, and go ahead and click the link, and you'll register for it on there.
Putting that up there too. We're gonna get everybody the info today, honey. We're gonna be all informed today.
Thank you. And it's gonna be good. It's a conversation between parents and teachers. And we're gonna work out a plan of action to figure out how to better support our children. Because if we don't do it, nobody else will.
I love it. Dominique, you go get that love on them nails. Get all
Thank you.
deserve it. You know, the babies all night. I know.
Thank you, Nia. Thank you so much for having me. I really love talking to you.
I love talking to you too. You have a
All
great
right, Nia.
Bye.
You too. Bye-bye.
Woo. That was the word that was given to us today. We've gotten so much Black love today. We had that incredible video from our filmmaker, Damian D. Smith and 4910 Rosalie, with those beautiful words from Icon. And we had incredible introspective thoughts and words from Dominique and Daughters Beyond Incarceration. Thank you guys so much for joining us this week. We are squatting up. We're trekking down our road to 300,000. We gonna get this. We gonna get this. And we gonna show up and show out. And I got Cammie in here doing the we gonna get this dance. She already. We gonna get this. And we're gonna find a way to restructure how we experience life. We're gonna make sure that we are seen in our totality of how we present and who we are. Cammie's so excited. We're gonna make you want to come say hi?
Yeah.
Yay! Hey, Cammie Cake. So
Yay.
It's these babies that we are working towards. We want to give them a much better future, much better space. What do you want to tell them, Cammie Cakes?
I'm saying, we can't vote right now, So, whether it's good or not, you decide our future. So, listen to us. Vote. No matter what side you're on, just vote because your vote matters.
Your vote matters. Yes.
And one day we'll be able to vote.
Yes, you will be able to vote. Are you looking forward to that?
Yeah.
Yes. I love it. I love you, Cammie Cakes. All right, guys. I will see you on the other side. Next week, we are starting our jam-packed week of activities and events. So we are Monday, we're going to have Motivation Monday. Tuesday, Topic Tuesday. Next week, we're going to be talking all about digital organizing. And so we're going to give you some tools and tips on how to organize with your people. We'll be back when she shows up Wednesday night at 7 o'clock. You'll be graced with your love letter on Thursday. And we'll have another film from our amazing film crew, 4910 Rosalie Productions, on Friday. So, we got some stuff planned. Y'all going to have calendars, all the good things. Also, we'll be posting later today our voter guide. And so it's an electronic voter guide. So feel free to download it and use it at your discretion. Gives you not just information about voting, but information about all the issues that we advocate with and for when it comes to Black women and Black girls in the city, state, and country. Yay! Squad up. Road to 300,000. Love you guys and see you on the other side. Have a wonderful day and an incredible weekend. Talk to you soon.